Hit the subscribe button to subscribe this channel. To get the latest update, press the bell icon.
Friends, welcome back to Learning Store. Our today's topic is percentage. I'm going to take an example quickly to make you understand the basic concept of the percentage. So let's begin with 48% of 7500. So to solve this question, I have two methods. So first method I'm going to discuss with you first. 48% of 7500. So this is the term with respect to which we are going to calculate the percentage. So this whole term is supposed to be 100%. Okay. Then half of this term mean 3750 would be equivalent to 50%, right? And 1/4 of this, I will discuss it later, but if I put a point over here, it means 750, then this will be equivalent to 10%. Okay, if I again put a point here, then it will be 75, and which will be equivalent to 1%. Similarly, 5% would be half of this. So half of this is 375, which is equivalent to 5%. I hope you understood this concept. Now, how do we perform this calculation? 48%, we can write it 50 minus 2% of 7500, which is equal to 50% of 7500 is 3750 minus 2% of 7500. Since 1% is 75, then 2% would be 150. Is that clear or not? Okay, so minus 150, which is equal to 3600. Okay, this was the first method. Now move to second method. Second method says, with the help of second method, I will simply write it 3 into 1200, which is equal to 3600, direct answer. Now how I did this, I simply take this 75%. Shall I write it 75% of 4800? Yes, I can, because this is, if I explore it, this is something like this, okay, which is equivalent to 48 by 100 multiplied by 75 multiplied by 100, or 7500 if I put it together. So what is this? 48% of 7500. So there is no difference between these two terms, so I can write it 75% of 4800, and 75% is 1/4 of 4800. We can write it, sorry, 3/4 of 4800. So after cancelling out, we get 3600. So friends, these are some values of percentage. 12.5% is equivalent to 1/8. Okay, so 20%, 25% is 1/4, 75% is 3/4, 37.5% is 3/8, 62.5 equal to 5 by 8, 9.99% is equal to 1 by 11, and 11.11% is equal to 1/9, right? Similarly, 14.28% is equal to 1/7, and 28.56 is equivalent to 2 by 7, which is double of this simply, right? So these are some values you need to keep in your mind while solving these questions, right? So let's take another example. For example, 137.5% of 3200, which means we can write it 100 plus 37.5% of 3200, right? So 100% you all know as it is 3200 plus 37.5%, which is from here 3/8 of 400, 1200 and 32, 4400 is the answer. I hope you get it. So this was the second example, right? Let's move to third example. Suppose you are supposed to calculate 62.5% of 4800, which is equal to, directly you can apply this value, 5/8 of 4800, so 3000 is the answer. So you can see how easy the question become if you learn these values. Okay, so let's move on another trick to solve the percentage question. Let's say you are supposed to ask 350% of 64, suppose, to 350% of 64. Then what is the approach to solve this question is to double this term. You will get 700% of half of this term of 32. So we can write it 224. So this is the 224 simply, right? 700% means 7 times the 32, which is 224 is the. Now move to the next question. Suppose we are required to calculate how much percent of 75 is 36. So what could be the approach of solving this question is, we will simply add 1/3 of this 75 in 75. So 1/3 of 75 is 25. Okay, so we will add this. So what we get is 100. So why do I convert this 75 to 100? Because we all know the percentage of any number with respect to 100 is the same number. Okay, so whatever the number comes after calculation, after adding this 1/3 of this number would be the answer, right? So this is 48, right? So the percentage of 36 with respect to 75 is 48 is the answer. I hope you understand. Now come to the sixth question. For example, a seller sells 40% of apples and he still has 420 apples, right? So what are the total apples? This total number of apples we need to calculate here. Now I will solve this in this space. Okay, 40% he has sold, right? So remaining is 60%. 60%, the value of 60% is equal to 420. Okay, apply here the same concept. How do I make this 60 as 100? I will simply add 2/3 of 60, that is 40, right? Add here. Okay, so 60 plus 40 is 100. What I add is 2/3 of this number. So similarly I will add 2/3 of 420, which is 140. Okay, so 420 plus 280, which is 700, is the answer. Okay, these are the total number of apples that the seller has. Okay, thanks and all the best.